Hi everyone, I'm Jen and I have been working for the last 6 months or so on the 5G planning tool. So this is the planning tool. We'll go through the basics first. The way this planning tool works is, so you go into settings, you choose your CCTV site. So this is where the dark fibre is, so the point of presence. Then we choose destination, so either a destination lamppost site or a destination building site. So let's put one here and maybe down. Let's give it a bit of a challenge. Let's get past these trees, see if it can get to down here. That is quite a bit of a challenge. Then we'll go for a building site. Say this building over here is a care home or something like that. Then it might want one on the side of the building itself so that it can be wired through. And then when we're happy, we can change all of these things. Got the buffer distance around the area that you're looking at. So if all of your objects are in this area, it'll look at this area anyway, but then this buffer distance is how much more room that you're going to give it to let it route round. Sometimes you want to keep it quite tight so that it doesn't do crazy routes round. Sometimes you want to give it lots of space. We want to give it lots of space because we've just asked it to find down to here and there are trees in the way. There's no way that we're going to be able to get down this road, so it's going to have to route round. The node range is how far the signal can go from site to site. So this is 1,000. The azimuth is the angle of field of the node. The elevation is this way. Okay, this is the maximum number of hops from the CCTV. So if you do too many, then you're going to lose signal. Minimum number of routes. At the moment, we'll just keep it to one. We don't like the more you do, then the more routes the program's going to find from the CCTV site to the lamppost. So if I set it to 1, it's going to find one route to this one. If I set it to 2, it's going to find 2 independent routes to the same lamppost. Obviously, increasing the redundancy of the network. Bigger the number, bigger the redundancy of your network. So if we've got 1, it's got a redundancy of 0. Okay, so let's optimize and see what it gives us. This one, it's got there quite nicely. That one's fine. It's saying an absolute flat no to this one down here. So if we want to come down here, we're going to have to think of another way to get round. However, it's possible that these trees are not as big as the program thinks it is. It's possible that we can get down here. So what would happen now is that someone would go out and survey this area and they would go, actually, this is fine. So we'll clear the optimization and then we can place a link between here, and I've gone and done a survey and I'm like, no, it's fine. I can go down here. I've done a line of sight. I've stood there. I've looked back up to there, and you see it's only clipping the foliage. You definitely want to check that that's absolutely going to work. So that's a link. That's a fixed link. A link block is the opposite. You're like, I, for some reason, can't go from there to there. I don't know why that would be, but maybe actually that tree's bigger than you think it is. So we're saying no to that, or this building is actually higher than we think it is. We need a link block there, so it's going to stop linking that way. Okay, so let's optimize and see what happens. Okay, so you see now it's, instead of going from there to there to there, it's now going from there to there to there to there. And this one is fine, it's happy, it's going through there. And building via site, that's if you want to get around a tricky corner. You could put a building via site on the side of a building, and it gives the program another option of how to let hop round. So you're happy with what you've done, you want to save your work, so you're going to lock that section. So that's now all locked. So once you've locked the last section, then what you can do is you can add an extension site. So imagine you've built something quite big, and you want to extend it, instead of choosing your CCTV site, instead you can choose an extension point. Everything now has to route through this, so it's all going to route through this. And then optimize again. Then it's gone there. The reason it's gone there to there is probably because this lamppost is in the way. Some of the lampposts are so perfectly in line that they do block the signal. So that's all the features. Then you want to save it because you're done. Let's call this a test file. And you can also save a screenshot. Okay, so another thing that you can do is put the lamppost code in here, and it moves you to directly over the top of that lamppost. The other thing it does is that you can show the LoRaWANs. So we're going to zoom out. So this is showing the LoRaWANs. So these are where they've actually installed them. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to show you was the potential Wi-Fi. So if we just put one around the corner again like we did before, and optimize, so then we've got this. So then we can show the Wi-Fi. So number of Wi-Fi hops, so this is the number of hops away from an active post you can get. So 10 is quite a lot. Let's just go down to 3, and then set the Wi-Fi range there, and then show Wi-Fi. So it shows you the coverage that those 3 posts, if they were active, if they were live, how far you could get away from them with the Wi-Fi. Okay, so when you press save, it saves 3 things. The Unity file that you need to load back in later. So you're in Unity, you're in the planning tool, and then you go to load, and then you can load back in your old work. So it just puts it back exactly how you had it. Second thing it generates is an Excel file. So this is the Excel file that it generates. This is a very simple network of just three sites. On the first site, an STA node, destination lamppost, and then there's another one, and then there's the camera with its PCP node on it. So this is what it's generating. It's generating the results of your network to give you an idea of how good it is. Then it gives you an estimate of the most routes from the access point to the destination. So this is your redundancy. These are the instructions. So this is what the person that's going to be fitting the boxes needs to do. So on this lamppost, it needs a node, an STA node. It needs to have a bearing of 333 degrees, and this is the latitude and longitude of that lamppost. So it's got the code and it's got the latitude and longitude, so it's easily findable. The third file that it generates when you press save is this one. So this is a Google map. So this camera here, you click on it and it says what needs to be on this post. And it does it for all of the different sites in your network.